Welcome, welcome, welcome. It has been a while. Welcome to another episode of Truth Be Told with yours truly, Dr. Bombay, your local resident metaphysician. Hopefully, everything is working properly. Had to dust off some of the equipment, and I pray that everything is coming through loud and clear. Unfortunately, we don't have any witnesses to that fact as of yet. Welcome, brother, nephew, Shakim Ra. Are you able to hear me? Can you hear the music? Is it too loud? Can you hear the sound of my voice? I'm not sure. Normally, I have another monitoring device for that purpose. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and just engage that now so that I can begin my discussion. All right, we have to do this the old-fashioned way, which is basically me connecting it through my cell phone to hear myself briefly. All right, so, excuse me, we are live and direct. Like I said, had to dust off the wheels and get back at it again to see what we could do. But like I said, it's been a while. Been doing some reflecting on things and trying to get it together. I wanted to bring more of a quality message, and I am coming through loud and clear, because Lord knows there's enough static and radiation on the airwaves all over the place, no matter where you might be right now. You know what though? Let's cut the music back just a little bit so I can hear myself think. I can imagine what that sounds like on the other side. So yes, we are broadcasting 60,000 hertz of pure, clear channel coming across. So, man, what's up with that title? Love Thy Enemy. The Art of Disengagement. What does that mean to you? I just want to say also, before we get into it, may the following words you find useful. It is my hope that the truths, ideas, and concepts today bring you some type of healing or serve to open dialogue for growth and change in your life. I just wanted to drop that mantra on you real quick to let you know what my intention is today. So with that said, love thy enemy. So, are you having any arguments or disagreements lately? What's going on in your life, right? There's always conflict, right? When you have these arguments or you're in witness of these arguments, what side or of the argument or group are you on? Pause, think. All right, two sides to every argument, right? Of course, some people see it as three sides. Well, the statement itself, love thy enemy, let's go back to that for a second. Where have you heard that before? Does the idea of that statement make you cringe as far as, loving your enemy? Now, I don't know about the rest of you, but the first time I heard that statement was a biblical reference, right? Now, I'm not here to do a sermon. This isn't anything to do with religion, but that's the first time that I heard it. And I don't know, when you heard it the first time, did the statement make you cringe because it just didn't make any sense to you? Like loving your enemy, like why? Why is that, right? It's hard for you to imagine releasing your anger or forgiving the next person because of what they did. Oh, hell no. I'm upset. I'm pissed off at somebody, right? Why would I do that? Of course, that's most of the thinking, right? Some of us who are more enlightened, we grasp that concept, we practice it, we get it, okay? But this isn't for those people, of course. Now, the origin, like I said, when I first heard it, it was a biblical reference, right? Somewhere about Matthew chapter 5, verse 43 to 48. You heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Wow, that's deep. Again, even though hearing that, even though knowing the source, even having it drilled into me over and over again, Still, it didn't make any sense. It didn't resonate. It took decades later to really get it. See, the point is, right, this has nothing to do with religion, nor is it anything to do with any particular sermon you heard, but it does make a good point. Whether you believe in the origin or whether you accept it at all doesn't really matter. But what is it alluding to? Remember what I told you before? Words are just signposts. They're alluding to something that are beyond themselves. They're just markers pointing towards something, right? We as human beings, we have a tendency to get caught up on the words. You know, we speak, of course, it's our everyday language. It's English. It's how we communicate. But it's the meanings and interpretations of those words that can become a little bit problematic, which is why we must always look beyond the implied meaning. So what does all of this mean? See, the wise person uses insight. The wise person does not allow themselves to be caught and held by their anger or resentment. Anger or resentment, you know, that thing that you harbor for your enemies, the thing that you hold on to. I'm pissed off. I'm holding on to it. It's the rule. It's just what it is. That's just what you're going to have to deal with, right? So wise people, they don't get trapped by that. They understand the concept. All right. So what you have to do, you have to adapt and learn how to see things interdimensionally and from all aspects of a situation. See, at that point, when you have a so-called enemy, right, you can look into the enemy. You can see their present state of mind, where they are now, their distant origin, all of the circumstances of their life that led them to be in this very spot right here, right now, pissing you off, creating the turmoil. When you can look into a person or look into their situation and you can see that, you find that you relinquish the need to attack, retaliate, judge, or, you know, thrash in some cases. Now, I know all of us are guilty of doing these things, myself included, but I'm just saying, like I said, we coming into a new year. Maybe we need to make some adjustments on how we're going to be doing things and how we're going to be moving forward with this. Again, the wise woman does not get trapped by these things. All right. Again, it's all about developing one's insight, looking into a person and seeing what's really there. Now, again, welcome. Sometimes I get carried away, Carrie Ann, and welcome, Cher. Again, not an easy concept to master. I'm not saying like, you know, I'm going to give you some bumper sticker slogan, and then all of a sudden you're going to walk out the front door, be enlightened, and never get offended by anybody in your life. Most of you will probably have road rage tomorrow morning when that snow kicks off, right? So again, this is just a dialogue for us to talk about approaching some of these things and these ideas. Now, what is it within us that has us in the grasp? Whereas, you know, we like to meet negative force with more negative force. You guessed it if you didn't get it already. Ding, ding, ding. It's the almighty ego. See, that whole love thy enemy, all that stuff, and enlightenment and insight and all these higher wisdoms, the ego does not vibrate at that level. Okay, the ego ain't having none of that. The ego has you reciting rules like an eye for an eye or some other meme demanding your retaliation. Of course. That's most likely, in my opinion, that's BS. That's something you either learned growing up or you adopted as a practice of the society you belong to. Boom. Thank you, Kara. I really appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you, being such a wise and insightful sister as yourself. I really appreciate that. Again, the ego, that voice in your head, you know, those two voices in there. You're not schizophrenic. We all got that voice. We talked about this in past presentations. Yeah, you get confronted with a situation. There's a potential enemy on the rise. The one voice in your head says, yo, you really shouldn't do this, man. That person tripping, you know, you here with your kids, you trying to have a good time. Just go ahead and let it slide. But then that bigger voice, the ego, is like, Oh, hell no. She ain't gonna embarrass me in front of my daughter. She ain't gonna embarrass me. I got to put some hands on. That's the ego talk. The real you, y'all call it soul, whatever, wants peace, doesn't really want the conflict. But see, you got these rules that you grew up with. The rules say you're embarrassed. So you believe that there's some part of yourself that has caused itself harm because of something somebody else did. And you feel so strongly about that offense that you have to retaliate. And by the way, it doesn't always have to be physical. It could be verbal. You know, somebody said something about me. Somebody online is talking about me. They criticized this. They attacked my children verbally or what have you. You never stop though and ask yourself in these situations, what part of you is really being caused the harm? Now, again, I'm fully aware of all the beefs that go on social media, on all the different platforms and everywhere else. And I see people at each other's throats. And I always ask myself a question. What part of your life is actually being affected to a point where you feel you have to raise your blood pressure above 200, throw your whole biosystem out of whack, run your heart rate up, scare your kids because you in the room yelling into a microphone and all this other stuff that's got you hurt so bad? Look, again, it's what we were taught. It's how we were raised. You know, we didn't come into the world dominated by the ego. We didn't come into the world with all these rules and memes given to us that told us how we have to react in every situation. My question is, like, where are we in the situation? Like, what is the choice? Like, do you have a choice, or are you working off of some hard drive that's got you pre-programmed that you have to react every way? Is it not a choice? If so, why not choose peace? We're going to talk about that later. What inside of us drives us to the negativity? What inside of us has us vibrating at that particular level? So the question, some of you might say, so what? I was raised on these rules. I was raised with these memes. What's wrong with the rules? What's wrong with having codes of conduct? What's wrong with having these things I was taught? My mama used them. Her mama used them. What's the problem? Well, you know, you might say, is it right or is it wrong? Who are you to say? Here's my question. This ain't about right or wrong. It never is in any situation. There is no right or wrong. As a matter of fact, many of you will argue back and forth all day long because you feel one of you is right and one of you is wrong. You use some sort of sense of morality or codes of morality to determine what is right or what is wrong in the action that should take place after the fact. Well, as I stated before, morality changes from group to group, from society to society, and from time to time. There was a time in this country where women could not wear pants or smoke in public. That was moral, a morality. That was a rule. That was an accepted social norm. What happened to that? Okay, so tomorrow, what's going to be the new rule? My question is, or the answer to that question is, it's not about right and wrong. It's about, is it working or does it not work? Is it serving a useful purpose in your life? So question, you're at your job and you're dealing with a belligerent customer. You feel as though this person from another race has no right to be belligerent with you. So according to your code of conduct, you must throw something on them or slap them or retaliate. Here's my question. Is that going to work? As you're sitting down central booking and potentially have no job and no way to pay your rent now, does that work or doesn't it work? How important was your meme? How important was that idea in your head about what it is you should do and oh, hell nah, you got me effed up and all the other stuff you tell yourself before you go off on somebody? Again, I'm not here to give you no new ideas or concepts. I'm just simply telling you to look inside. Look inside yourself. Hold the mirror up to your own face. Not my job. I'm not here to do that for you. It's just what I do. I'm saying I see the fights. I see the conflicts. I see us not getting along. I see people talking on some racial stuff, talking about black unity. You can't approach black unity because you can't even decide what black is. You argue over that too. Truly, truly misguided. But I'm not here to talk about that. I don't want to talk about race. In 2023, we're dealing with the human being. We have not a racial problem. We have a human problem. You human beings don't know how to, you don't recognize each other as human beings. You're the highest life form on the planet, but you don't demonstrate it by your actions. We're not going to talk about that today. That's not the subject. Anyway, moving right along. 2023, y'all, we're doing this another way. We're going to try something new in 2023. Because what we did in 2022, it ain't work. It ain't work. All right. Man, the past. Oh my God. The key to 70% of what's wrong in our lives is the past. Lord, please let go of the past. If you're sitting there holding on to something that I did or something somebody else did to you 3 years ago and you're still mad, then I hope you realize that you are the one with the problem. See, what I did in the past and what the other person did in the past, what's that got to do with you now? The only thing that remains, definitely nothing from the past remains. The only thing remains is the idea or the memory of it. You're trapped in your memory, thereby you're completing the cycle of pain, thereby you're staying in misery, thereby you will not be delivered into peace because you can't seem to let it go. And yeah, I know that's hard because see, you tell yourself reasons why you can't let it go. Well, you cursed me out publicly. You talked about my mom. You threatened my kids. You can give me 20 or 30 reasons why you should still be pissed off at somebody, why your blood pressure is still up, heart rate is still up, you losing patches of your hair is falling out. You are literally keeping yourself up at night. You're on the internet 8 hours a day, frantic about something somebody did. Looking at that from a 30,000 foot view, none of it makes any sense. Whatever happened, happened. Truly, you know, do these people really know you? Like, do they know your mom's name? No, probably not. Again, you know, but hey, if that works for you in your life, if you like being miserable and like being constantly caught in the turmoil of drama, then by all means, keep it going. Like I said, it's not about right or wrong. It's about what works and what does not work. If that is working for your life, being that miserable and holding on to it, then by all means. You know what they say, holding on to anger is like having a hot coal in your hand. You know, the more you hold on to it, only you getting burned by that, you know. Now, if you're an individual that have people using your past transgressions as a talking point to cut you down, brothers and sisters, what you need to do, you need to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Now, this is going to sound completely hypocritical, not only to myself, but to most of you. And that is because that is the main thing we like to do when we talk about each other. What do, y'all? We attack each other's past. You remember you did a crime. You remember that one time you lost that fight and got your ASS beat. You remember the time when you got caught in that lie, when you did something else, or when the person left you at the altar. That's right. We're going to take and weaponize your past transgressions and use them against you. We like to do that. So how do you get around that? What you need to do is this. You need to just simply let it go. Your past is your past. What you did is done. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Operation Too Late is in full effect. That ship has sailed. It's over with. So forgive yourself. What's up to Speak Easy? Welcome, bro. Yep, we doing it different, man. We doing it different. So forgive yourself, y'all. I did some things, man, wasn't too cool. Guess what? I was young, not as experienced. And that's my whole point of today's discussion. I did some stuff last year that wasn't cool. I did some stuff last month. I did some stuff last week. I did some stuff yesterday. Forgive. I'm not holding myself accountable. I'm not, because that's another thing too. Y'all love to hold, you got to be held accountable. No, you don't. There's nobody sitting on any moral high throne that has the right to hold you accountable for anything you did, especially if it was a mistake. Now, if you persist on every day making the same mistake again and again, you keep wanting to rob a bank today and rob a bank tomorrow and do this. Hey, look, again, that goes back to the first thing I said. Is that working for you or is it not working for you? Again, y'all going to find out when you get to the point of higher wisdom, when you get to the point of where you're moving towards enlightenment, you're going to really start to see the world as it is. You're going to start to see how society works. You're going to understand the inner workings of the universes and all its forces, including karma. And you're going to begin to understand these things. And you're going to find that there is no need for you to catalog. There's no need for you to define, pass judgment on, be offended about. You're going to truly learn how to let go and have that peace in your life that you deserve to have, that you know you really want deep down inside, but you just don't know how to do it. So again, carry on by all means. Keep boxing, keep fighting, keep talking about each other's past, keep talking about the lack of money, keep talking about passing judgment, doing all the things that cut each other up. That past, man, let it go. You know, again, forgive yourself, detach yourself from the notion of your failure and move the hell on. Bottom line, bro, let it go. You messed up. Hey, but you better now, right? Well, hopefully you're better now. You know, see, your past is your past. Those who judge you because of it are only exposing their own frailties. See, it doesn't make them better than you. It simply defines them as a person who needs to judge and shame others to make themselves feel better. That's right, y'all, the bully complex. Every time you come around, they throw it up in your face. They beating on you about what you did. Oh, you was this. You should be ashamed. You was a bad mom. You was a bad dad. You did that. You was a sorry black man. You was whatever you did, right? Right? Now, that's the bully. You got to look at the bully and figure out, look him in his eye. Now, most of the time, let me stop. It's the same thing, even from the playground, y'all. We had those bullies. You know what I'm saying? What wisdom did you find out about that bully after the fact? You found out that bully was more scared than you of people. It was a mirage he was projecting. You found out he was worse, he or she was worse off than you. You found out they was jealous of you. Or in some cases, if it was the opposite sex, they actually liked you. They had an attraction for you. Here today, we got the 40-year-old bullies. It's a little different now. Look inside of them. Try to figure out why is this person picking on me? Why is they coming at me? Why is they doing this? When you look deep inside, you'll see why. You'll understand it. It's the same playground, y'all, except it's social media. Except it's now the grocery store. You look in the person, you understand why they coming at you. You find out. Ain't no need for you to defend that. Ain't no need for you to engage. And yeah, now if it's online, sometimes they call it trolling. You know, trolling to me, nah, that's just a fake shield for your pain. 99.6% of trolling is not actually trolling. If you look closer, you can see that. You can see through the facade. But anyway, didn't come here to talk about that, right? We talking about your enemy, your ops, as you like to say. You know what I mean? Or the illusion of your enemy, right? Moving right along. So, bro, but I had a sordid past, man. I did a lot of things. I mean, you know, it's haunting me, bro. I'm trying to let it go. That's just it. Let it go. Like that hot coal in your hand. Don't hold on to it. Just simply let it go. Today, or better yet, tomorrow is the first day of the rest of your life. You get a do-over. What you do today? Okay, name something today you did or this week you did that was stupid. That was wrong, backwards, upside down, a mistake, a guffaw, whatever, right? Tomorrow you get a do-over. See, you got to look past the dimension of linear time. That's the problem. People got you locked in. They're making a sum of your personality of all your mistakes and your past transgressions and labeling it as you. This is what you are now and forevermore. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Dr. Bombay, but remember that time you wrote that song? Remember that time you said this? I got a snapshot. I got a clip. Guess what? Already let it go. Already got over it. If you still offended, Operation Can't Do Nothing About It is fully underway. It is. First day of your life, y'all. Tomorrow's the first day of the rest of your life. The past is not serving you now. Even if it's positive past, it's still not serving you. Yeah, I know you want to talk about the good things you did in your past. That's done and over with too, along with the negative stuff. Yeah, you tell me, oh man, you like to talk about how I used to have all this money. I had this money, I had these cars. You should have seen me. I was something. I was running the block. Yeah, but now you're not running the block. You running the mop. And that's okay. It's all right. You have a respectable job doing your job. You know, you're not slinging dope. You know, it's all good. So no negative or positive is all the past, right? Your accomplishments then have nothing to do with now, nor does your failures have anything to do with now. And I'll go a step further, y'all. Your kids graduating, they ain't got nothing to do with you. They did all that work. So you can't use that either. It's all about you and your life. You've got nothing to prove to anybody, especially an online crowd and social media. God dang it. For real? Do any of you know these people personally? Have you broke bread with them? As I said before, do you know their middle names? Why are these online personalities so important for your self-image? Why are you up at night 2, 3 in the morning worrying about what somebody said about you that you don't know, never met, especially when you've never seen their face and they behind a screen? Now, the old me, y'all remember, matter of fact, you could play the tapes of the old me because I used to react to all of that. And then even when I tried to sound more intelligent, I was throwing subliminals all up in the message. There ain't no subliminal here because I don't have nothing in mind. Oh, and by the way, everything that I ever recorded or said or did is still up live and direct. Why is that? Why don't I hide these things so I can look like I'm more grandiose now? Because it's a part of my evolution. I said this before on my other channel, the Dr. Bombay channel. You hear a whole different conversation. And then during the pandemic, it shifts where it's more negative, it's more attacks, it's more all these other things. Man, ain't no shit. You can't hide your shame. It's recorded somewhere. The people at Google got it. So guess what? It's up. So you can see how the dialogue changed. You can see the history. You can see the evolution. You can see things as they go along. Now, if you want to pass judgment on that, by all means, pick something out I did goofy and say, hey, he did something stupid. I'm going to take the same rule that I'm telling you to apply to yourself. I'm going to apply it to me. Hey, look, I can't be worried about that now. You still offended? That's your problem. That's not my problem. Let's be for real. You don't want my apology. Y'all don't want no apology. Y'all get apologies. Y'all throw them back. You know what I'm saying? So, no. You need to find healing within yourself. My apology is not going to heal you. A retraction is not going to heal you. Hide my video ain't going to heal you. Me groveling and bowing at your feet is not going to heal you. It will soothe your ego, though, quite nicely. That ain't what you need. What you need is to hear me saying what I'm saying today. And that's what I'm doing. We're going into 2023, y'all, on a different note, on a different angle. Now, some people in your life, in your midst, they ain't ready to make that step with you yet, but that's okay. All right. They're going to keep, hey, LV, welcome. Welcome, R&T Entertainment. Welcome, D. Durrell, Life Solutions. And to speak easy, I think I already said that to you. Yeah, they're not ready. Right? So you got nothing to prove. They're not important to your self-image. You know what I'm saying? See, some people say, I don't want to keep saying you because I don't think this like I'm talking to y'all. This is a general message. I'm on 2 channels. Some of you say you're a spiritual being, but for some reason you keep finding yourself dominated by ego and mind, falling down over and over and over again. That's okay. You just need to practice more. The same way you learn how to ride a bike. You know, you had the training wheels on, it was boom, then you took the training wheels off. Then you would find yourself kind of like falling down and you get back up, you keep trying. Your spiritual practice is the same way. You don't sit down and meditate one time, wake up and enlighten Zen master. That's not how that works. You gotta definitely keep practicing. That's why we call it a spiritual practice. It might even take you a whole lifetime or multiple lifetimes. Some of you are in your 1000th emanation still trying to get it right. And you're still falling down, but that's okay. So, where does all this go? So yes, the statement, love thy enemy. That's going to continue to sting. It's going to continue to burn every time you hear it, when you think about the concept of it. Or if you continue to view it through the filter of ego. So again, what am I telling you? Am I telling you to love your enemy? Is that what I'm saying? No, I'm telling you why that phrase strikes resistance within you. Because the very idea goes against your nature, or not your true nature, but the nature you were taught. The real meaning of love thy enemy is to have no enemies by using insight, wisdom, and guidance to help you see more deeply into your daily situations. See, the man that spoke those words, that individual, whether you believe it or not, y'all, you know what? I studied the book as a literary work. So the character in that story that made that statement, this character was born without ego. This character was born an enlightened being. And the character in the book was actually trying to teach mankind how to achieve enlightenment. So that when he said, love your enemy, he was teaching them, like, you have to look into what we call the ultimate dimension. That's well beyond your third. It's well beyond the 11 dimensions your physicists talk about. Ultimate dimension would be the absolute, the all-inclusive. There's no real word for it in English. But by looking at things that way, you see the interconnectedness of all things, all beings, all ideas, all concept, all phenomena, or as we say in Zen circles, all dharma. And when you can see like that, not with physical eyes, but when you can see like that with your spiritual eyes, you understand that which you look at, that which you perceive to be your enemy, is an illusion. That's just another part of yourself having a different thing you're calling a life experience, which is also an illusion. And the end of that life experience you call death is definitely an illusion. That's a whole nother video. Not going into that right now. But hey, we have to just change the way that we see things. Again, there is no written law that says you have to respond to an attack, especially a verbal one. There is no rule that says you have to respond with equal force, especially when you realize it takes twice the amount of force to overcome the original force or the onslaught in the first place. What's that martial arts style called? Aikido? Where you don't really, it's not an offensive style, it's more defense, it's more yielding to overcome. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. You yell in your microphone, I yell in my microphone. I got to yell twice as loud. I got to turn my frequency up higher to get more bandwidth to override you and what you're saying on your microphone. And we go back and forth, back and forth. I make a response, you make a response. We can do this all day. We can dance. Guess what? I'm going to have to make twice as many responses. Again, what are we proving? Who are we proving it to? You know, yeah, I know that lady Heather at your job in accounting. I know you don't like her. She thinks she cute. She always got something smart to say out her mouth. Yeah, I know. Ain't no point in you finding yourself in the HR because you done put something in that woman's food in the break room. So, lack of insight is not the only reason why you keep getting caught up in the carousel of drama. You are also dealing with unresolved pain within yourself and others who are also suffering. See, you can't find yourself on social media and in your family gossiping and looking for reasons to be offended, just simply for the idea of feeding your pain body. Now, what is this? I talked about that before. The pain body. All of us have pain. That is one of the facts of life. As a matter of fact, one of the four noble truths is the idea of suffering. You will not get through this life without experiencing some suffering. Now, that suffering accumulates in your life. Yes, you had the dad that was never there, or you had the mom that was overly stressed because your dad wasn't there and she kept riding down on you at every single turn. She kept calling you names. She was stressed out, didn't know how to relate to you, whatever. This caused some problems later on in life. Now you're walking around here thinking you're ugly, thinking you're too dark, thinking you're whatever it is they did to you, right? So now that's your accumulated pain. That pain has to go somewhere. It's either A, you're going to feed it medicine and resolve it, or B, that pain's going to end up coming out onto somebody else. Abusers, the abused have a tendency to become the abusers. Okay. Now, the pain body, that's that collective mental continuum within yourself, where the pain is stored. Also, it's a force. It has to escape. You can't keep it bottled up. It has to go somewhere. Now, the pain body also works in reverse. Some of us are receptive to receiving the pain. You have these people that are perpetual victims or the abused. It's almost like you say, why don't she just pack her bags up and leave? He is clearly abusive. And it sounds so simple, right? Just pack your bag, go stay with your mom, and end the pain cycle. Nope. Nope. That force, that energy, it has to go somewhere. And when you're on the receiving end, sometimes you find yourself caught up and trapped by it where you have to receive. So now you have to ask yourself, you know you got an enemy, or should we say an idea of an enemy. Why are you following your enemy around, looking for every word that they say? Why do you keep asking your cousin, did you talk to so-and-so, your other cousin? Because you know they're going to start talking. They're going to tell you what they said. Why are you on this medium, tuning in to your enemy to hear their sermon so that you can find more ammunition and more reasons to be offended? Because you know why? That's your pain. You're absorbing it. As you say, you call it a glutton for punishment. You can't get enough. You can't turn it off. You can't disengage. That's what we're talking about, the art of disengagement. Let's get to that part of it, right? All this yakety yak I'm doing, but where does this take us all? Hey, I got 4 in the house. It's been a while. I usually have 11. Where are my 11 people at? Oh, that's right. Some of y'all is live doing some things probably. Or I ain't been around in a while, so. Or who knows who's on the other channel watching. It's not about that. This is recorded, which means it is documented, which means it is down and it is here for all to see or hear later. And I know secretly some of you do like stuff like this because you want something different from the daily drama and the back and forth, right? It's like watching a ping pong game. So the pain body, it exists within everyone. You're either doling it out or you're receiving it. You have to break that cycle. Now, if you take these pain-filled individuals and you put 100 of these type of people in proximity, you will have a constant war going on. As a matter of fact, they will even speak out or come against you if you make an effort towards a move to peace. They will chastise you for being passive or attempting to build with others inside of these spaces. That's right. They'll make it sound like you're crazy or you're the negative one because you're attempting to build. There ain't no building around here. What are you doing? All this kumbaya stuff. What are you, Gandhi? See, here's my thing. Hey, man, I like a little fun. I like to kick it up sometimes. I like to clown sometimes. But, yo, for real, though, it says something to me. I mean, not everything in the universe is created in opposite polarities. Up, down, left, right, hot, cold, on, off. So there's no how do you say? There's no nothing that does not have an opposite. So how can you have any group, any sector, any society, or any division where it's all one way? I hear you, Curry. Yeah, there are places in the book where it's definitely apparent. I'm just speaking of things in a general context. Perhaps one day we'll actually discuss that as a literary work. Or not, you know. But, hey, everything has an opposite. Now, again, that doesn't make these individuals demonic. It only means they are centered around a lower level of consciousness, which most of us are. Most of us, we believe that we're enlightened or we're spiritual beings or I'm conscious. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. I'm this. See, I'm enlightened. I'm anointed. All these fancy schmancy words on what you are. No, actually, none of us there's probably none among us that are really truly enlightened beings. And the proof is in the pudding. I don't need to go into that and point that out. We're more so vibrating. I don't like that word. I'm gonna use that word because that's y'all woke new age word, vibrating, or we're oscillating between lower levels of consciousness, lower consciousness. The human being is in no way. The human being has access to these higher levels of consciousness, but we are not disciplining ourselves or taking the time out to actually move towards that. Because you know why? The drama feels good. The endorphins in our brains are released when we take in cinematic presentations of drama on screen, when we engage in it in our family. Lord knows when we go find it on social media, it gives us a charge, it gives us hype. Those endorphins feel good. Some of you get those endorphins from other things. Some people get it from bungee jumping. Some people get it from porn. Some people get it, you get it from a lot of places. It's addictive though. So you don't want to find yourself caught up and dependent on that. So what do we do? After all, this is Dr. Bombay's channel and also TMK Media, and this is a solution-based platform. We talk about solutions here. We don't talk about what's going on in your circle. We don't talk about your ops and what the problem is, and let's look at all the evidence and the receipts and all that other stuff. Nah, we're not doing that. We don't do that. So solution, you need to disengage. Yes, it's that simple. Separate yourself. Turn off the medium that you're communicating through or by and walk away. If you can't handle the criticism and the judgment, then tune yourself out. Not only did I just tell you that, yeah, you simplifying. You act like it's just simple. No. I told you in the past. Every device you have has that red button with the light on it. That's the power button. You push that thing in, you hold it off. Hold it in tight. This whole world will disappear. Most of the world will go away. Nobody can call you. Nobody can attack you. Nobody can do anything to you. I proved the point. All I had to do was just not come in the basement, and then I'm not here anymore. And it's been what? I don't know, 2 months, 3 months. I don't know. Taking quality time. I had some projects. I was working on some things. I did try to peek in from time to time. It was interesting. And when you come back, you'll find nothing has changed. Oh, actually, some things have changed. Your enemies have changed. You see 5 or 6 people that were cold enemies that were ready to kill each other are now friends with the other people that are now enemies against the people that were in the circle, but no longer are friends because of the. Yo, do you not see? Do you not see the problem? Do you not see why you don't need somebody to ride with you to make you feel like, hey, look, let me look. Yeah, I know I was going to stab you last week, but let me put my arm around you, holler at you real quick because I need you. You agree with me because I now hate somebody that you hate. So let's band together and hate this person together, even though we can't stand each other. What's the reward? What is the end game to all of this? Anyway, let's move away from that. That sounds too sectorish to me. I'm definitely damn sure not going into 2023 doing any of that. Yeah, it is that simple. The power button. And after you finish disengaging, i.e. unplugging it, moving away. Oh, welcome, Keeper. Hey, Bobber. Hey. That's the DJ from the Warriors, y'all. But anyway, after you disengage, man, take some time off for yourself. Go visit some people. Go see some things. Read a book. Read multiple books. Meditate. Do yoga. Start a project. Complete the project. It's got to be more to life than just being in a constant cycle of drama. I've said it and I said it 1,000 times. Everybody that's standing within the sound of my voice, you are all highly intelligent people. A lot of you are professionals. You have so much to offer the world. Man, I just want to know more about it. I want to hear more about it. Yeah, I know those people. I know the lower beings is telling you, don't nobody want to hear that. Don't nobody want that building. Yeah, the reason why they say that is because they're broken. They have a low self-esteem. They don't feel good about walking in intellectual circles. They feel very awkward. That's like that bully I was telling you about. So they want to keep you right where you at. They want to keep everything at this low level, but you got to understand that what you need to do is reach out to say, hey, bro, look, man, I understand, you don't got a grasp on the English language. I understand you might didn't complete the 9th grade. But what I'm saying is, look, come on, let's get in this discussion. And we're going to keep the word simple. If it's something you don't understand, don't be embarrassed. Just raise your hand. Say, hey, yo, I don't understand that. Can you break it down for me? Hey, there you go. You got to make that connection with these people, because just staying at this lower level, not really getting nobody nowhere. Hey, if you find yourself returned to strength, like you actually disengaged, you was able to heal yourself, and you are now in complete control of your ego and mind, then by all means, now you can step back in and rejoin the collective. Okay? You can go back into your chat room or go back into your family setting, and you can be around these people. Except this time, you come back as a teacher and not as a victim, right? So basically, get your ish together. Definitely get your ish together. So when you come back in, you ready to how we say, you ready to not get caught up in it. Maybe you can present the other side of the argument. Maybe you can then benefit some other people. They'll ask you, well, how did you disengage? Like, what did you do? How did you deal with your personal pain? You seem different now. You seem like you want some other stuff. You know what I mean? So anyway, I dropped the link. I wasn't really planning on a linky type show, but here we go. Anyway, looking at the comments as we get ready to take things out. Speakeasy says, hey, how do I highlight the comment? What's up with that? Oh, you know what? First of all, I need to be in the stream. There we go. Not somewhere else. Oh. I'm all off, y'all. You can tell I'm real rusty. I was actually looking at it from the YouTube side of things and missing the point. Speakeasy with the humor as usual. Okay, Jesus had plenty of ego. We talked about that. Carrie got a switchblade. I'm more than aware of Carrie's intelligence and her cunning and how she wields her skills. Yep, I enjoy her commentary, and I like when she says, that's stupid, when she's talking to people. Anyway, you get endorphins from competition. Oh, hell yeah, especially sports. Man, it's something about, they call that when you in the zone too. Deep. All right, say it again, Doc. I wish I knew what I said, but I got to go back and play it because my brain ain't moving that fast. I got this COVID fog going on. Got the COVID fog. Jerry Springer used to say that people always asked him where he found his guests when the real question was how he found an audience. That's deep. That's really deep. No doubt about it. Welcoming Dr. Nikki Proctor Walden, or NPW, as we know. Spicy Kai. Hey, Spice, what's up? Hey, I'm up here on Spice. I'm up here on Occasion Rosecrans. I'm about to catch a cab down there. Can you pay for it, please? Because I left my wallet. Oh, you on the other channel watching? Yeah, I see you, Spicy. I see you over here. Welcome. But hey. Yeah, that was pretty much, my presentation today. That was pretty much all I had to say. Again, y'all, we going into 2023. It's time for us to make a right turn, try to do things a little better, change some of the ways of doing things. Well, welcome to the stage. I no longer need to stall. Welcome my homie, my Stromey, my man who got a toolbox full of stolen tools that he never paid for, and a whole bunch of bad credit and 4 different aliases. He go up to this tool truck wearing Stanley shirt, talking about, I'm Stanley. Let me open up a line of credit. My man, Mr. Speak Easy. Welcome to the stage.
Don't tell him all the secrets, Doc. That's how we build our toolbox stock up, man.
No doubt. When you catch an old man that done had a stroke and you like, yo, man, look. Man, I give you $500 for the whole set. I paid $15,000. Man, look, I got $500 right now.
He gonna take that $500.
There he is. Oh, okay. We got more. Okay. Wow. Okay, we got coming to the stage. Miss Carrie Ann is here.
Hey, pat her down. Pat her down.
Hey, everybody.
Got that metal detector on, but she carries a plastic blade too. So man,
man, look. I be over there minding my business in the Carrie Ann sector.
I like that too. How you got your own sector? That's cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been started a long time ago. Cause I'm not a follower, and I miss you, TMK. It's good to hear you. You giving all this good. A lot of us needed to hear this message today.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Myself included.
It's all good.
So what's the deal, Doc? Like, I mean, lead us where we going, man. It sounds like we building. So, I got my hard hat on. What's good?
Hey, I don't know about building. It's just it's just the other side of reality. Over here. I mean, I did what I did, around these parts, just trying to do something else. I don't know if it's building. I guess building as opposed to destroying. I'm just gonna say what I'm doing is just what I'm doing. Because they ain't really no opposite. It's not in opposed to anything or anybody. So I'm just doing my thing over here. I will admit this though. I will admit this. I look back now. I'm gonna tell you something. But I love revealing myself because I like using myself as an example because it's so easy. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna get mad at myself. But I used to be on here real critical of people. I would chastise people and say, man, you was on a 6-hour live. You could have been making some money. You could have been this. You could have been that. And I said, wait a minute. I had to really be honest with myself. I said, yo, it took me 9 hours to produce a song and a video. So just because I didn't do it 6 hours on the microphone is not what I'm doing also counterproductive, considering I ain't make a nickel off of it. I had to be honest with myself. Yes. So
I think writing a song might be inherently more valuable than doing a 9-hour live, but that's just my opinion.
You know what though? I'll take that. See, man, you bring balance to things. I like your style.
Oh, that's what I like about you. Cause it's like none of us could be perfect, like you said, but it's just nobody kicking like this around here. You class up the joint, TMK.
I really appreciate that. You know what though?
TMK don't take that. Carrie is sneaky. There's poison in that compliment.
This Christmas, you better believe it. Carrie is getting that new hand for me, y'all. I'm talking about the good one, the chrome one. She getting that one. But
no,
anyway.
I can say though, personally, I struggle with forgiveness. I don't really believe in forgiveness.
Explain.
I mean, I think being taught to forgive your enemies is slave talk. I think it's something you would tell somebody you're trying to enslave.
So you kill them? You kill your enemy?
That's what you would tell someone you want to survive. If you want somebody to be a slave, you'll be like, look, I'm going to fuck you over this whole life. But when you die, you're going to wake up in a magical paradise.
That is true. And there have been people that have used that. They've used that concept basically to keep you looking for the pie in the sky. Meanwhile, I'm stabbing you all up. I'm enjoying my pie right now. So yeah,
you never forgave somebody and got something valuable from them after forgiveness?
I have. When I say I don't believe in forgiveness, I don't mean I would never forgive anybody, but I don't believe in like this generic need for forgiveness that Christians be talking about. I think that shit is apolitical and suicidal.
No, I don't think it's suicidal. I mean, if you walk around carrying that hate, then you're going to have a heavy heart all your life.
Who forgives more than black people?
Hold on, Carrie.
Okay.
If you learn to forgive in certain circumstances and situations, you might earn a friend that can get you to the next level. But if you don't, you'll be stuck where you are, not realizing your level up is connected to that person who you didn't forgive.
Okay. Do you remember like a year ago when that white cop shot that nigga in his own apartment and that nigga's brother forgave her? But while she was, what you think about that?
Nah. I said situations. You got to understand what I said.
Oh, well, situations is what I said too. Yeah. But that generic this generic belief that forgiveness is always good for your soul and it's bad to hold a grudge. I don't know. Sometimes revenge is useful.
Revenge.
Yeah, I would say, I would definitely say, take action. And in other words, if you're, especially when Carrie made the reference, that's a systemic problem with like people shooting innocent people in our society. So that does not mean, I'm not telling y'all to keep taking bullets and saying, Hail Mary, I forgive you. But more so, sometimes, intellect will dictate that there's a call to action. There's something that we need to do. It don't mean just, you forgive and you sit in place and keep getting hit upside your head with rocks.
Exactly.
You got to be smart too. But I mean it more
So
so
the
in the
Black community's
personal
obsession
attack.
with forgiveness is usually put to good use, or it's usually apolitical and suicidal. The way we be forgiving everybody for everything they do to us before they even make reparations to us, you don't think that the way we've been taught to forgive our enemies is counterproductive and suicidal?
Maybe we are innately forgiving people.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the innate part. Maybe we are, but even if that's true, it's something we might want to reconsider and control. We might be innately violent. That doesn't mean we should just
We
continue to.
definitely not innately violent, but
Well,
forgiving is, it's a good trait to have because carrying hate is heavy.
all right.
It's
So is being a
heavy,
slave.
Carrie. It's heavy.
Yeah, so is being a slave, though.
We not
And if
slaves though.
no
You
man
could be
fears you,
but Carrie, you can be a slave to the hate you carry,
I
and it
agree with
makes it
that.
easy to transfer to others
But
and
sometimes
others, and
hate
then
is
you'll be
appropriate.
lonely.
Sometimes your lightness and your feelings feeling light all the goddamn time is not always what's actually most important. Sometimes a man should fear your retribution, you know?
You're right. You're right. But that's where balance comes in. You can't be on this far side of the scale or that far side of the scale. You must have balance, and forgiveness is a part of balance.
So I struggle with forgiveness. I understand it has a time and a place, but I don't have this generic belief in forgiveness that some people have, that like it's always the best option.
No, it's
Um,
not always the best option. If you do
so I
something to
struggle
me
with it.
that's
Yeah.
wrong, then I'ma deck you. And I might forgive you later if I see you laying down. But if you back up, then I'm gonna keep hitting you until I hit you hard enough to forgive you.
Um, Carrie spoke about it on a societal level. I have a question for Carrie. What if it's something like your cousin Lisha that stole your boyfriend and in your junior year in high school, and you've had this grudge for 20 something years? Is do you have a problem with forgiving on that level, or
Yeah.
are you carrying that
Deeply.
grudge? Oh my
I have
god!
yeah.
So
And
is it all levels, Carrie, or like
yeah, all
big things?
levels. I
Oh
struggle
wow.
with it. I'm not saying I never do it, but I struggle with it. I do. And even to the point where like people I love and miss, but I just can't forgive them.
Mm.
Wow, ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean,
I don't know
it
if it
is.
is or is. I'll be working on it in therapy, but I've been in therapy for years. I just I like, if you cross me, I don't, yeah. And I'm from Chicago. Like, I don't think it's really a forgiving environment. And I've seen the harm that can come from people never forgiving each other. But I still just be like, forgiving a nigga just seemed like the wrong thing to do most of the time.
That might be a Chicago thing, Carrie.
If
You're
it is, it's
carrying that
probably fucked
Chicago
up.
thing.
Yeah, I don't want to be like that. But I be wanting to forgive, and my heart just be like, nah, but remember, you know what I'm saying? you know? So I don't be feeling the need to get revenge, but people be dead to me.
That's a
Um,
choice.
so
Just
I
ignoring
was
it.
appreciating the message about forgiveness and everything, because I need to hear more of that,
Yeah, I guess more so. I was speaking like more metaphysically, like and I wasn't trying to get all spooky and all
It's
scary
cool. I
script
was loving it.
or
I
anything.
felt like I needed to hear it, but keep going.
Yeah, it's like, and I'm not going to bring that up. We were talking about karma. We'll do that another time. But it's more like when you look at people, it's like what are we really? Like if I look at an individual, they're just a collection of all the actions they've taken their entire life, and some of the actions have been against me. But when I look deeper, I start to see like, wait a minute, this person didn't come out the womb like that. Or if I look even deeper, I start to see, this person is part of a collective, or, why am I so focused on just their physical? Like, what is beyond that? These are some of the things that I think about. So, and some of the things that I practice. So, and trust me, it's hard as hell. It ain't as easy as it sounds when somebody say, oh, you just forgive this. But when you start to look at people and understand, it helps you not to react as much or hold a grudge or retaliate. You start to understand, like, with my experiences on the internet, I started to understand some of the people I was dealing with. I'm like, well, why did I get this unwarranted attack? Why did this person come at me? And I start to see why. I say, well, I don't know, maybe it's some sick, twisted form of admiration, or maybe it's jealousy, maybe, I don't know. But when I start to look at it, especially when you're going against your enemy, your proposed enemy, and you start slinging all the insults, you say, hey, you're broke, you're unintelligent, you have nothing in life, you're sorry, mom, dad, whatever. When you make that list, if most of that list is true, if everything you said is factual, then you have to ask yourself, like, damn, if your life was that, what would you be doing right now? You'd probably be acting and thinking the same way. So when I started thinking on the higher wisdom like that, I started to look at it and go, damn, no wonder you coming at me. No wonder you in my grill with this nonsense. So then ain't no need for me to react to you. Ain't no need for me to harbor anger. Ain't no need for me to retaliate. All I can do is look at you and say, we ain't gonna call it forgiveness. I'm gonna call it understanding. I understand why you are that way. I understand why you're doing this, and I'ma still have peace over here. You just keep being you.
There you go. Understand, that's the thing. Understanding is like a part of forgiveness. And if you understand somebody just will never get it and this is how they are, but you accept that and say, you know what? I can't expect them to be this way or that way because they are the finished product of who they are, and you accept it, then you deal with them on certain terms. Therefore, you ain't got to be worried about forgiveness with this person because you're expecting their behavior. So you got work in your gift. Some people are discerning. They can pick up on shit about you right away and figure shit out. And some people don't have that particular gift. But to expect everybody to operate in the gift that you possess is crazy because you just might not have that in you.
That's true. I think for me, it's plenty of people I don't like and they don't even register to me. I don't think about them. But I probably overreact when I feel like people disrespect me. And I think I be feeling like my life is on the line. Like if I let people disrespect me, anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? What's next? You know what I'm saying?
That's Chicago. That's Chicago.
And
I
I
feel
probably,
what you're saying. Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, it's like I be feeling like I'm neutralizing a threat or something. So, it's a certain amount of cussing people out on the internet or roasting is like a release of energy. But then I do agree with you. Like you have to have balance. Sometimes I just have to back off from this shit because it's just, going nowhere. It's just a waste of time.
Yeah, hey, speak. I see where she coming from with that concept. Like, in other words, if it's a group of us young men, we out on the block and somebody do something that's an offense. If I let it slide, then I'm fearful that the whole group is going to see me as weak. So I got to react a certain way. Like when she said, yeah, I'm worried because they might do it again or do more. So I understand that. But that fear that we have is rooted in our ego. We're worried about the perception of others. Like, oh, they'll see me as weak. And then we'll double down and say, then more of them will attack me. Well, the truth of the matter is, it don't matter what the herd does, because if you're a young man and you in that group and you're capable with your hands and you can defend yourself, then none of these people is really a threat to you. So what they think, it don't matter. As a matter of fact, on certain level, they probably will respect you more. Like, damn, yo, that dude stay cool. Like, no matter what you do, you can't rattle him. You can't get him off the square. And they'll look at you and say, he quiet. Now, one of them might test you, but then,
No, you got to be somebody ass. And the sooner the better, because you could either fight that first nigga or all 10 of them later. Like, so you got to like stand on your square.
Yeah.
I mean, in that situation, though, because I had a situation at the gig, right? I'm dealing with the younger young boys, and they was ready to move on this one tech because of the dumb shit they was doing. And I was like, nah, y'all, chill. Motherfuckers like that, get what they got coming to them. Do not do nothing that's going to jeopardize you. And guess what wound up happening? The motherfuckers started doing dumb shit, and they got clipped. And everybody said, Speak, you was right. You said that motherfucker had that shit coming. It only took a month. And they was gone. But if they would have got their instant gratification, retribution right there, they would have lost a whole lot more. And that person would have probably still would have been there. And instead, they got rid of themselves. Sometimes it's just best to wait and let them play themselves out. Don't move too quick. Let them play themselves out. Fuck whoever think whatever they think. As long as you have a plan in place, see it through.
what about the internet ghosts, like the people that we come across on the internet? I mean, we were given real life examples like being on the block, being at work, things like that. But what about, like, do it really make any sense on here for me to have a grudge with somebody that lived 2,600 miles away, I never known, never seen, never met? I mean, do that make any sense for me to harbor the hate from a blip on the screen, a collection of pixels? I mean, that's
Nah, I feel you. Let me be clear. I don't hate nobody in the sector at all. It's nobody in the sector who I want to see lose their job or their kids or nothing else. Like, I be wanting to cuss people out, and that is my own ego. But I don't hate nobody.
Right. No, I don't think. I mean, like overall in the general scheme, because everybody's not being attacked in the same way. But name calling at 40, if that
Right.
shit gets you rattled, you need to call your dad and ask him where he fucked up at. You need to call your mom and ask them where along the line did you fuck up in my development, where words and sticks and stones are bothering me on the internet.
Or just don't listen to it.
Right. That's the simplest solution is to just turn it off.
Right.
Fuck who miss you. Fuck who ain't gonna see you. Turn it off, and you'll feel good in 2 days.
That's kind of what I'm driving at. You know,
I
like
heard you say it earlier, Doc.
Yeah.
Disengage. Turn that shit off.
Yeah, I find it. Yeah, I realized too, man. Like, you know, I was spending a lot of time on this thing, man. It's like after a while, your kids start. One of them grew an inch taller. I missed it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's that.
So, during your time away, Doc, how did you feel being separated from the sector?
No,
like, did you read 10 books, learn French? Like,
no, I was working on some business stuff. I mean, I felt a lot more productive.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me, they said, "Yo, what, you getting divorced?" I was like, "Damn, really?" They went all the way to the I was like, "No, actually, on the contrary, you know, you have more time for your relationship when you're not on here." You know, they appreciate that. They say, "Damn, I'm spending a lot more time with you." You know what I mean? So, you know, you gotta love that. So, like I said, nothing but a positive thing. And on top of that, when you tune back in and you see it's the same stuff that's been going on, you realize you ain't missed nothing. Ain't like you came back and like, damn, everybody formed clubs. What book they reading this week? Damn, they on chapter 6. Oh man, I gotta catch up. Nope.
Well, Nikki been doing some book shit. She been doing some dope book shit.
Oh wow. Yeah, I've been trying to catch some of y'all shows be real late. I be
Nikki and Josephine got a real sophisticated show. I think you will like it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be right up your alley, Doc.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, it just ought to be up my alley. It's named after the one I used to have. Grown folks are talking.
Oh, they took your title. We got people.
Y'all, hey, look, I know some royalties off that show. Matter of fact, you was on the panel on one of them. We used to do those. The grown folks.
I remember. I didn't remember.
Yeah, it was
TMK is Keeper backstage.
Nah, that ain't Keeper.
Oh, okay, it looked like she was in the private chat. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh, wait a minute. Nah, hold on. I don't think that's not her icon. But that icon looked familiar. Hold on, let me see. Private chat. Man, I'm slow. It's
no
Keeper.
worries.
Okay. Nah.
I don't think you would have a troll, TMK. Tap it down, let her on.
Wait a minute.
That's probably her. She was in the chat.
Watch, hold
up. Hey guys.
Oh,
thanks, Carrie.
Hey, Keeper.
Thanks, Carrie.
Hey, we need to see your license and registration and any weapons in the car.
Hey.
You got the icon. Hey. That's the DJ from the Warriors. That's what I was talking
about. Yeah, because that's what you keep calling me. So I changed my avatar right quick. Yeah, but no, I'm just gonna sit tight and chime in when I, but I'm digging what y'all talking about though.
Word.
Yep. So I'm a chime in. Y'all go ahead on.
Shout out to Nikki and Josephine though. I did try to catch the show. I was it'd be on. I always play the replay though. I did the replays.
Yeah.
Yeah, they be on late. I'll be asleep around that time. But I definitely catch the replay. It's good. It's different. It's a change of pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Definitely some good talk. Here, going into 2023, what I'm trying to do is have like more conversations or produce more things that's not generalized around any one particular sector. And that's, I don't care if it's Umar, beef, tea, pick any one. I feel like I'm a member of YouTube, so we're trying to do that and move outside of the same, just trying to do something different coming into the new year. Sounds like a good a time as any. I attempted last year, was not successful with that. Ended up with a lot more music tracks, a lot more time. I feel like, I shouldn't kill the music, but I think that the music should take on something more serious ideas. Again, it doesn't really make sense to make, it's like I say, spend 9 hours on a project that's going to get you, have 200 views. Oh, it was funny for the time. And now it doesn't have any relevance anymore. So if you're going to make something, make it everlasting. Make your content everlasting and relevant to anybody that come to your channel. That's what I'm shooting for.
New
You
direction.
should, but I do appreciate the sector music too. And let me, I got something for you, TMK. You'll like this.
Uh-oh.
So this year, at my school, we got a new literacy coach, and I'm happy because I feel like my coworkers don't be doing their job right. But I stay in my lane because I'm not a literacy coach, and so I've been like frustrated with that. And so we got a literacy coach. Hooray! Right?
Mm-hmm.
And there in one of our units, the students are supposed to write essentially a creative short story, and I usually skip that assignment, and I found out so did the other teachers because it's misaligned with that unit. It has nothing to do with that unit, and so I normally skip it and give a research paper instead. Long story short, the literacy coach insisted that we do this creative writing. And my thing is, my kids can barely read and write in a general class. I'm trying to get them ready for college. And it's not a creative writing class. I haven't taught them how to do that. It's stupid. They should be writing essays in a composition class. So I got the kids to do it. And I told them I tried to have a more positive outlook for the kids' benefit. Even though I was frustrated, I was like, while I normally would skip this and give you research, we should take this as an opportunity to write for the joy of writing and remember that literature is art and it's not just something you read and react to. Like, you could also be the creator. And dude, it completely turned around the atmosphere in my classroom. The kids are way happier. They got way into this assignment, and the last like 3 weeks of this year have been amazing compared to the 10 weeks before it. So art for the sake of art is not wasted time.
Wow.
No, especially story writing. I used to love that at school because you start with a blank piece of paper and ideas come to life and you get to share it with the class and they might dig your shit.
They couldn't wait to read each other's. It was such an event. And I had moved away from that. It completely changed everything. So many more of my kids brought their grades up, not just on that assignment, but we're turning in other work. Like, it completely turned everything around. So yeah, that whole like, none of the music you wrote for the sector was a waste of time. Like, that, we shouldn't think of it that way. Creation is important, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it probes into the creative aspect, and then it also gives you an insight on how a person thinks.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, let me clear that up too. As far as a waste, I want to say this. Every single track that I ever wrote, I could easily strip the vocals off and put real vocalists on it. So all of that, I could actually package it as instrumentals and just shop the tracks around. So yeah, definitely not a waste. I just feel like just want to kind of make some stuff that's a little more timeless.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is, even if they got deleted off YouTube and your heart and they never got heard again, and the only time they was ever heard was the people who already heard it, like, that's still not for nothing. Like, art is really important. You really help people a lot when you produce art in ways you don't even know,
Deep. Yeah, so I guess more so moving into new themes for the next year. It probably won't be a lot of room for that type of stuff. But hey, it was done, been there, done that. So
yeah,
see what else we can come up with creative. Like, who knows? I might snatch one of your speeches again and set it to music like that other
And dude,
piece.
people will never forget those songs. Even if you don't listen to them over and over, like even if you never made another one, like, yeah, I'm so grateful for the music you made while I was in the sector, personally.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
They're on classics, man. They're on
Yeah.
classics.
Carrie
Yeah.
said while she was in the sector, girl, you still in the sector. Stop it.
No, I
Now
mean,
she
he's been
in
around a
the
lot
Carrie
longer
Ann
than me.
sector.
I'm like a year deep. I mean,
Oh, okay,
everything
right.
I was blessed to hear was, that's one of the things about this sector that's so redeeming, right? Is the people that take the time to put together these beautiful videos and songs. Like, this is like,
Yeah,
people would pay for this quality of shit. Like, we're so
yeah,
lucky.
absolutely.
We used to
It's
do
a
a
lot
lot
of
more of
talent.
that.
It's sad. It's
Yeah.
sad. It's so much talent in the sector, and it's so sad that a lot of it gets mocked. You know what I mean? And people can't really expand their horizons. It's
Yeah, I
sad.
personally enjoy it. Yeah, I do.
We used to do a lot
Likewise.
more of that before. There was a lot more of that. As a matter of fact, we even had it at one point. It was like a competition. It was like, okay, I'm gonna do one, you
Mm-hmm.
do one, I'm gonna do one, and then it was entertaining. But unfortunately, social media is saturated with a lot of emotion and
A lot
Yeah.
has
unresolved
changed.
childhood
Yeah.
trauma. So this is
Yes.
the pain market now. So we gotta
It's
I
just
feel like
it's amazing. It's amazing to me how much has changed over the years. From when I first came into the sector, like mid 2019.
yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
so
that
much
was
has changed.
the golden
Golden.
era.
Yes,
It
yes.
was
And
more
now,
about what you go ahead, keeper. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, speak. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, from what I seen, it was more about how can you creatively roast, and it wasn't so much about a messy live and doxing and this and that. We was doing a lot of different things. We was doing skits, all kinds of stuff, and it was more fun. Now it's like it got a little bit more dirty and further away from actually showing some kind of talent besides
Creativity,
just
right?
talking shit. You know what I
And
mean?
too
Like,
much personal. Yeah, it's
yeah,
too personal.
yeah,
I
You know
agree.
that's very profitable though too. Like for instance, if you spend 6-7 hours putting together a project, you're not going to make no money. Nobody's going to say, "Oh, well, hey, that's really good. Let me tip you." You know. However, if you go at somebody's ops, then you're going to get blessed 50, 100, $200. You can make money doing that, and that's part of the issue too. Like it's like with anything, when you put money in it, it kind of ruins it. It dilutes the quality of it. You know. But hey,
Hmm.
the good news is I have a career. I'm not here to make money, but it just it stands though. If people have figured out, hey, the more negative I be, the more profitable it is, and some hate to say are dependent on that money on here. So
yeah.
therefore, you have more of that. So it's like what we pay for and what is profitable, you're going to see more of. So I always have to ask myself, what position am I in all of this? Am I the perpetrator? Yeah, I was. Just not going to probably do that as much or do it no more. Or am I the one that's promoting nonsense? Am I the one that's doling out the cash, celebrating it? So
Well,
again,
I don't know about you guys, but with the women, I think a large part of us giving cash apps is I don't want to use the word charity, but I think we give more money to the people who we perceive to have less money than us. Like
oh,
I wouldn't
Ooh,
cash app you because you and me probably make the same money or you make more money than me. So, but if it's somebody who I think I'm supporting small content creators, right? Like a lot of the women, we don't cash app each other that much. I don't think it's because we don't respect each other's content. We just all have jobs and money.
yeah,
Yeah, I normally cash app when something moves me. Like
Me too.
I'm not down with a lot of BS, so I pretty much cash app when something moves me. I know back in the day when we have a particular person that was in the sector, we all should know who that person is. That pretty much kicked all of this off. They're no longer making content right now, thank God. But I remember during that time when he was being exposed, I would cash app certain content creators that was calling his shit out. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
Because it
oh,
was in a sense like get them. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I agree. You know what I
mhm.
mean? Yeah, so it didn't matter whether I felt they had money or not. I was moved by whatever was being discussed or talked about.
I try to only cash out for positive stuff too. So that's why I only cash out people who I think don't have 9 to 5 jobs.
Oh,
So
I don't care about that. Ain't my
if they put
problem.
like a song out, yeah, well, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not cash apping nobody that make more money than me.
Yeah, I will. If it's something that moves me, because you got to think about it. We got a lot of content creators on YouTube. I mean, they have millions of subscribers, and I have cash app some of those people.
Oh, and see, yeah, I don't cash app them either. I only cash app people who I think, if I'm gonna give money on YouTube, it is definitely gonna be to somebody Black who I think could use the money. So I'm not saying you shouldn't. I
Yeah,
think that some of the guys are like, why don't I get the cash apps? And that's because we know you. You know what I'm saying? We don't perceive you to
yeah,
need them that way. Like
yeah,
this is not. That's why charity isn't the right word. It's more like, I'm not gonna give money to a big YouTuber. What do they need with my money? If
hmm
I'm gonna give this money, I'm gonna give it to somebody that's really, will feel it in
I,
their
hmm
pocket. Yeah, that's
I
all.
only super chat people to make my comments stand out on screen.
yeah. That's another one too.
That's why I
Yeah,
do it. I'm like, hey, you need to hear what I'm saying. It's $5.
So yeah, if I don't cash app you, it might just be me saying, you doing all right, bro.
What
and
constitutes?
then people cash out for brownie points too.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. I'm a
Yeah.
baller. Let me show you. Please prove it to me, y'all. Hey, what constitutes fair soliciting of cash online, borderline begging? Like, what is there a difference? Like, if I mention Cash App and during my sermons, is that begging? Is it when people ask? I mean, is it something
I
you
don't have a
should not?
problem with begging. Just
Okay.
don't be turning around trying to give other grown men manhood lessons if you out here begging people to buy your wife a pot and a pan. That's all I'm saying.
Touche.
I I I
Beg
think
all
it's
you
a
want.
way. I think it's a proper way to ask for cash apps. You may say it a few times within your show and just let it scroll across your screen. And I think if you got something worthy of being talked about and you're likable, I think the people will cash app you. I don't
Oh,
think it has to be constantly shouted out. That kind of ticks me off. Hit my cash out. I'm doing all this for y'all. Hit my cash app. Oh, y'all ain't gonna hit the cash app. I can't stand that.
Yeah, that's
That's just
definitely
like any
begging.
aggressive panhandler on the street.
I can go to church for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's aggressive begging right there. Hit the cash
Mhm.
app. Y'all see it? Like, whoa.
Mhm.
I mean, we grew up in a time where it wasn't no cash app.
Nope.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean, we were just doing what we was doing because we was doing it. And if you decided to give a couple dollars, then that's what you did. But people are conditioned to give now for dumb shit. Like, what
Hey,
am I giving?
Mhm.
I seen people cash app and what's the boy name? The ex NBA dude, Kwame Brown. And
Kwame
they're
Brown.
sitting
Yeah.
on millions of dollars getting cash apps.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Why
What?
I'm cash
Mhm.
apping you and you got more money than me?
What are you getting?
Mhm.
Right? Well, that's because people are conditioned to give. Like, what am I
Mm.
giving? You ain't on the court no more. What am I giving you bread for?
Absolutely. And what is his content really doing for them?
Exactly. But when you have been conditioned to give, that's what you're going to do because now it's the right thing to do. Reach in your pocket and get his cat something for nothing.
Now, I'll support somebody that's wealthy if they're selling a product or they have a brand. It's not
Because
like
you're
I won't
getting
give them
something.
my money because I think they have too much money. But if I'm just going to be giving you cash money in appreciation for your show, and I only have like $100 a month to give in charity, I'm going to give it, or in
Yeah, I kind
donations.
of.
Donations is
I
a better word than charity, right? Donations.
Okay. I kind of take in consideration, the type of platform that a person has. I look at the equipment.
Yeah.
I look at the show setup, what's being discussed, the content, and what am I getting out of it?
Yeah,
And that
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 too.
pretty much determines, yeah, if I'm a dig in my pockets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard.
I mean, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Killer.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, I cash that cat couple dollars. If they got me through the workday with a crazy live and I'm at work making money, but you making me fucking laugh while I'm at work making them hours
Right.
go by, I hit your cash app.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Uh-huh.
made some bread and you helped me get through the day with your entertainment. I throw you a couple dollars. There's nothing wrong with that. But
Mm-hmm.
if I'm a constant, audience member, there's no way I should be digging in my pocket every time I come to your show. This ain't that type of party.
I
Yeah.
heard I heard it said that a person should build their channel up to have like thousands of members to make money from AdSense and not like put their cash apps on the screen. Somehow that's less noble. Um I don't agree with that. I think like if you're putting out quality and if people want to reward you for that, they should be able to do so rather than you have to get 10,000 subscribers because YouTube ain't going to pay you that much anyway, and they're going to keep 40% of your super chat. So yes, get it however you can get it, but I think it should be. I believe in quality though, and like
Mm-hmm.
Speak said, it has to be entertaining, for me to feel good.
Yeah.
Hey,
I've
question.
been in. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I was going to ask you a question, but go ahead. Say your comment.
Yeah, right quick. No, I've been in several chats and the content was good but they didn't have a cash app up. And I'm seeing people in the chat, what's your cash app and this and that. So that's why I said, to have it scroll across the screen would be ideal, you know?
Mm-hmm. So my question, Keeper, what do you think about the whole subject matter? I know you were here probably most of the show. You heard us, we were up here talking about the topic, the whole the love thy enemy, the forgiveness aspect, and not holding on to attachments that causes you personal suffering and things like that. I mean, you got any comment on the whole topic itself or
Hmm. Yeah, I'm old school. So when I say old school, I mean old school. So I strongly believe in keep your friends close and your enemies closer. I don't have a problem with forgiveness. See, because for me to forgive you don't mean I have to be cool with you. We have to be friends. It's just that.
Mm-hmm.
If someone apologizes to me, I have to discern whether that apology is genuine based on the conversation and what was displayed before me, right? So if I make the ultimate decision that, okay, this apology is genuine and I accept it, then okay, I move on. Because if I accept an apology that I didn't feel was genuine, and I try to move on with the course of action as being, still being cool or what have you, then whatever happened behind that is on me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I agree.
as I said in the other chat, that's why I keep my circle small. I mean small, so I could pinpoint any bullshit that happens within that circle. See, I don't like to surround myself by a whole lot of people because it's hard to pinpoint one thing from another.
Mm.
It's a little easier to pinpoint bullshit if it so happens to occur. You feel me?
got it?
Um, yeah, but I don't fuck with people, and I don't expect people to fuck with me. So like when I confront a situation, I've made the ultimate decision that okay, I want to confront this situation for whatever reason. Whether it's just to fuck around, whether it's just to, express my feeling about that situation. But one thing for sure I'm not going to do is go back and forth with anybody.
Got it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine we have some activity on the airways across the whole YouTube medium this evening with the usual narratives and things like that, which going into 2023. Go
Oh, let me add one more thing to that, guys.
ahead.
I always say in the chats, like, we've been in this space long enough to kind of see how people move around, right?
Hmm.
Like I told Speak, I think I told him on a live before on a panel before. I respected him for one situation. I think back in 2020 when that shit happened on a Smokes panel with Star when she cried. Speak Easy happened to be on the panel that day. You remember Speak?
Yep, I was there live.
He was on the panel live and in person when she cried. Speakeasy said out of his mouth, "Oh man, she cried, man. Oh man, she crying. Oh hey, Smoke, yeah, man. I'm gonna go and jump off and let you handle that, man." Now this was during the course of bullshit, beefing going on in a big way. But the minute Speak heard that, he manned up and he took a man's stance, and he didn't continue to bullshit. He didn't berate her or say crazy shit. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
specifically said, "Hey, this is a serious situation. Handle this." I respected him from that day forward, even though we didn't talk much in the chat or what have you. I said, now that was cool because I hadn't seen that. I had been seeing a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
We all were taken aback when that happened. I was totally taken aback. Because I'm not a bullshit type person. So I got up there to try to make some type of sense out of it. And Speak, I don't know if you remember, but during that time, there was actually a division within the sector. We had the good guys against the so-called
Yep.
AFWs.
Yep.
Anybody went over to Lennon's show was considered an AFW. Well, I would frequent Lennon's show at the time, but I wasn't what they call AFW. Well, I didn't even know what the hell that really meant back then, for real, for real. But there was that definite separation. Saying that to say, at that time when I jumped on the panel, I was the point of the matter I was trying to make was that you're making us look like clowns by crying, because see, I'm looking at myself. I'm not a weak person. I don't cry. Like, I would literally have to go in a closet to cry. You know what I'm saying? So my point was, don't wear your heart on your sleeve. Toughen up. Be, you know what I'm saying? Be strong. Don't let words get to you. This basically like the type of things that I was trying to relay, and everything just got flipped around. You know what I'm saying?
I
Uh,
saw. Go ahead.
mhm.
Sorry.
Yeah, go
Go
ahead.
I saw another brother from Philly. He was on the panel, and the panel started getting a little bit wild. They started going into some sex talk and the freakiness. And the brother said, "All right, well, that's me. I gotta go." And he like kind of packed up his suitcase and rolled out, as if to say, my lady, I'm with somebody. I can't be seen, I don't want my name associated with this because it could get caught up in a certain way.
You talking about over on that panel
Nah,
at
not
that
not
time?
not any. No, not that panel.
Oh,
Not any particular
okay.
panel. Yeah, because I try to steer clear of that sector stuff. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
it was an association, so it was a panel.
Okay,
And the
okay.
brother was like, "Look, man, look, you ain't gonna have me on here." You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't Speakeasy, by the way. Speak know what I'm talking about because he don't get caught up in them shenanigans either. You know what I mean? You ain't never
Mm-hmm.
heard his
Mm-hmm.
name ringing out where somebody said he said something inappropriate, did something because he know better than that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We know the average divorce costs $19,000. So you know that you're not going to throw it away on some cyber chick. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah, you gotta know how to move out here because it's easy to get caught up. You on a phone call with somebody, man, you gotta be real careful. Especially when you got a lot to lose. Especially,
Absolutely.
I tell
I
everybody that.
also I also appreciate the guys around here, who behave in a dignified manner. Thank you.
Gary.
For real.
Yeah, it's not
I
not too
do.
many, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they hold it down, they do.
Because
Mm-hmm.
your spot again, and you think it's behind the scenes, ain't nothing behind the scenes. Because soon as somebody get mad at you, drunk, high, whatever, boom, you on Front Street. So again, you
And
just
you know
better
what's
watch.
so crazy, guys? I remember YouTube. You guys remember YouTube back in the day? I said this often, where YouTube used to have a personal message. You could go behind the scenes and message someone, straight through on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah.
So that would be considered behind the scenes. You know what I mean? You're not messaging, commenting on a video or what have you. You're actually sending them a personal message. So that would have been considered behind the scenes.
I wonder why they got rid of that.
I often wondered that too, because I used to be a content creator back in like 2009, and I so hate I deleted my channel because I probably would have tens of thousands of subscribers by now. Um, but when I came back, all of that was gone, and I'm like,
I
wow, they
don't even
really made a
remember
lot
that,
of
but it sounds
changes.
convenient, you know.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you could straight up just go to the message and message them right here, right on YouTube.
It's like MySpace. Um,
Mm-hmm.
well, let me see. I don't know where we at far as time. I mean, damn sure a good conversation. Don't want to waste it. But
Yeah, I'm gonna
hey,
jump down and start my dinner,
closing
guys. Thanks for the combo.
any closing word? That is your closing word?
Thanks for coming up.
Okay. Peace out, y'all.
All right, that was Keeper's closing word. Peace out, starting dinner. Getting that casserole going and that chili mac. You know, the kids love the chili mac. So, yeah, y'all, any closing words? Really enjoyed your company. Thank you for coming out. I didn't think I was going to have anybody coming through. Appreciate y'all.
Ladies first, Carrie. Go ahead, girl. Take us out.
Man, I just really appreciate you coming through with all this good talk. I feel like I needed to hear it. I've been going off a lot lately, and I think I said everything I need to say. Yeah, I need a little break myself, and so thank you, and recentering and adding all the balance, and making me think about art for the sake of art and all the beautiful things.
Wow, thank you, and thank you for your commentary. I appreciate that. Everything.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Doc.
Yo.
Words of wisdom, bro. If you got something to lose, don't put it on the line, and definitely don't put it online.
No doubt.
Keep it reserved. Keep your channel what your channel name is. Don't lead with your profession. Don't lead with your title. Just come on here for entertainment. And again, if you got something to lose, don't put it on the line and don't put it online. I'm out, Doc.
Deep. All right, y'all. We turned down the lights up on the mezzanine. The focal. Give me a spot on camera 2. There we go. So again, this was a small live as usual. I didn't get to my my usual 11, which is cool. I always rock with the 11. That's my magic number for these lives. We cruise at about 90 minutes at an altitude of 45,000 feet with a 45,000 foot view. I appreciate the adults that came out this evening to join me in a discussion that was non-related to any one particular group or section of YouTube. Like I said, this is YouTube. It's all of YouTube. I'll brand this thing later and label it up. But for right now, appreciate everybody that came through. Yes, not telling you to love your enemies, just telling you to take a deeper look inside using your insight and that innate wisdom that is in all of us, that is deep within, to help guide us through this thing called life, to make it a little bit easier. So with that said, as I stall and get ready to take us out, thank you. This is Dr. Bombay, your local resident metaphysician, and this was an episode of Truth Be Told. Appreciate you, and I'll leave you with the words of peace and tranquility. Namaste.